Hey, I'm Mark, and this project we're building a formal dining room rustic table, leaving the sawmill marks on it and a live edge. Well, let's get back to the barn and I'll take you to the beginning when we start. Well, these are the cants that I'm going to be starting with, and these are some leftover pieces from a past table. So next thing, we'll get over to the sawmill and get everything cut up and go from there. Next, I want to get it cut, all the pieces 8 foot, put a stop in 8 foot. I took a shaving off of that end, and I just take a shaving off this end. It's going to be a big table. Well, I got all my lumber run through the sawmill. It's real close to the same thickness. It is off a little bit. This, I picked out the best side to be the top, so all these surfaces will meet. I'll use some biscuit joiner to get it a perfect match, but the underneath side may not be a perfect match. It don't matter. So next, I want to get everything run through the joiner, just the pieces that'll be joined together. Well, I got all the edges run through the joiner. It fits good. Next is to lay the lines out for the biscuit cutter. And I can't just use my T-square on a live edge. So what I did, I marked 6 inches in on both sides. And then every foot, just draw a straight line between it. And that will line up when I use the plate joiner, the biscuit joiner. I like using the biscuit joiner. It's a lot faster than using dowels. The alignment's a whole lot easier. All I'm trying to do is get the tops lined up. And next we'll get it all glued up. I'm using a tight bond extended wood glue. It gives me a little bit more time since I have so much to glue. Well, I cut my 5x5 beams roughly 45 degrees on my saw, and you can see it leaves a little burn marks. But I want it to have sawmill marks, so I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to take some really rough 40 grit sandpaper on my belt sander, and I'm just going to touch it to give it that rough look. And that gives it that scratchy sawmill look. All right, next we want to glue the pads on the bottom of our trestle. I'm going to add a little slow set glue, and I'm just going to shoot it in with some finishing nails just to hold it. While the glue's drying on the table, I'm going to go ahead and cut the center post. I want the table to be 30 and a half inches tall, so I need this center post 24 and a half inches, and then we're going to drill and dowel it in to hold it. Using a 1-inch dowel, and I've scraped it. Got a lot of scratches lengthwise on it. It's kind of like a piston, and you want to let that air escape. So that's why I put the scratches on it. Well, the glue is dried. I got the table upside down. I took the belt sander and evened out the bottom side since it's rough cut, and I'm going to add a brace across here to help keep the table straight. And I'm not going to glue it in. I've cut slotted holes, and I'm just going to use a screw. I got it about a 1/2 inch short on both sides, and I'm just going to use a screw with a washer and not over tighten it, just to snug it, and then when the wood shrinks and contracts through the years, it will slip back and forth. Well, next, to make the end look 2 inches thick, I've cut some boards and run through the joiner. I'm going to glue them in. I'm also going to put a couple of finish nails just to help hold it. Some 45-degree pieces. That's the sawmill marks on there. I did pre-sand them. And I'm just going to shoot these in with some 2-inch finishing nails. It's not a perfect lineup, but again, it's a rustic table. Well, next we'll get the top pieces on. Alright, next I got the spreader beam cut. I'm leaving the live edge where you can see it. We're going to put a dowel in on each end to hold it, as well as some screws. I've got a special 8-foot adjustable drill press just for drilling accurately into these spreader beams, as well as also do furniture repair. And sometimes I have to repair a big tall bedpost, and you have to drill the dowel perfectly, get it together, otherwise the bedpost leans. So let's get over to the homemade drill press and I'll show you how it's done. Well, now I'll let the glue dry. I went ahead and added some screws to hold the tabletop to the trestle. Well, next I got to get started on the bench. Well, this is the cant that I'm going to get the bench out of. It's about 14 inches wide, and I just made a slice. It's about 3.5 inches thick, and I want to slice it down to 2 inches. And I was just going to show you the accuracy of my sawmill. Perfectly straight on the even plane. I'm going to saw the other side, flip it over on the other side too to get a perfect board. You can see how accurate this homemade sawmill is. Well, there's the bench finished. I still got to give it all a good sanding. And there's some logs I'll be cutting up next week for next year's projects. Well, next I'm using a wood conditioner from Minwax. Just going to wipe it on now that I've got everything sanded. It goes on really fast. It will make the stain be a little more even into the wood. I'm using special walnut, Minwax, kind of a dark brown. And I've got a live edge on both sides. This is actually one plank out of the tree, not multiple pieces. So I can literally count the rings backwards to the year I was born. It's pretty neat. And we'll just wipe it on. I'm going to give it 2 coats. Wait about 12 hours in between. It's been about 30 minutes since I've wiped on the pre-stain. You only got about 2 hours to stain it after you condition it. Well, the stain is dried. It's been about 16 hours. And I'm going to use a super hard, durable floor finish satin. It's a polyurethane, fast drying. It says fast drying, but it takes hours to dry. Because it's for floors, they want it to give you plenty of time to work it. So I kind of like that. And I'm using a natural brush bristle, and I will put several coats on there. I will probably sand with a 220 grit between one of the coats anyway, just in case I have any little fuzz up spots. But it's pretty simple. You just want to keep a live edge on it and don't have to panic and worry about going really fast, because even though it says really fast drying, it's not. Well, that's the finished product. She's still got to get some chairs for it. You can see the sawmill marks, but it's smooth to the touch. I like building tables because it's this is going to be an heirloom for the family, and there's no telling how many Thanksgivings and how many times this will be passed down through the family over the next 100 years. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see y'all on the next video.